3 burials between 2 countries in 3 coffins within the space of 20 years. That is what it took to give Kwame Nkrumah a befitting burial in this mausoleum. Now, if you stay long enough, you'll get the full story from this explorer on why Kwame Nkrumah's burial was such a controversial subject at the time. So for those of you who may not know this, in 1966, Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown and fled into exile, where he finally settled at Guinea-Conakry and was made, get this, co-president by the president at that time, Ahmed Traoré. Now, years later, Kwame Nkrumah fell sick and he was flown to Romania for medical treatment. But unfortunately, in 1972, he passed away. And this is where the story becomes interesting, because this is where the debate about where he was going to get buried began. The people of Guinea-Conakry were not having his body sent back to Ghana because, according to them, he was their president now and the people of Ghana had rejected him. So his body was sent back to Guinea, where his first burial happened. However, back in Ghana, there was one person who couldn't get past Kwame Nkrumah being buried outside his homeland, and that was his mother. Like many Africans, she believed deeply in being buried on your own soil. And so she pleaded for her son's body to be brought back home. And in July of 1972, Kwame Nkrumah's remains were eventually returned to his hometown in Nkofu in Ghana's western region, where he was buried the second time. But that too was not the end of the story, because his body was laid in a glass-topped coffin open for public viewing for years. And if we're being honest, there was something pretty unsettling about it. And so after many years passed, after his mother passed, the rest of his family and the government finally agreed that he deserved much better. And so 20 years after his death in 1992, Kwame Nkrumah's body was exhumed for the 3rd time and buried for the final time in Accra, and this time at the site where he stood and declared Ghana's independence in 1957. As you walk into his resting place, you will notice the golden statues of the royal horn blowers. Notice how they're on their knees. This is particularly significant to point out that the king in quote has fallen. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the story of how Kwame Nkrumah was buried not once, not twice, but 3 times. If this is your first time hearing this story, or this is your first time coming across my page, an African traveler and explorer that is particular about educational exploration of the continent, give this video a like and follow me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!